Supporters of abortion's rights got a big win in Iowa. The state Supreme Court just blocked an attempt by the governor there, Kim Reynolds, to ban abortion after 6 weeks. That means the procedure will stay legal there until about the 20th week of pregnancy. In a statement, the governor said the fight is not over and that she will continue to review her legal options. And joining us now to break all this down is NBC News legal analyst Danny Cevallos. Danny, can you bring us up to speed here? When did Iowa's law to ban abortion after 6 weeks pass?
This is back in 2018, and with that law, it went from about 20 weeks down to about 2 weeks. It's a fetal heartbeat law. Then it gets procedurally complicated, but here it is. Best summary I can do is this. Immediately after that, the court enters in Iowa, state court enters an injunction based on what the law was then, which was Roe v. Wade. Planned Parenthood v. Casey. This is pre-Dobbs. So the court says, look, this law cannot go into effect because of the state of abortion law now. Then Dobbs has decided there is no longer a constitutional right to abortion. Same thing happens in Iowa. Iowa court concludes the same thing. Then the governor comes back and says, hey, now that the law has changed, this old injunction, there's nothing preventing this heartbeat law from going into effect. So the lower court finds that there's no mechanism to reevaluate a permanent injunction. If the injunction's in place, it's in place. There's nothing that can be done. So to say that now today the Iowa Supreme Court upheld, it didn't really do anything. It just tied. And when the court ties, same rule at the United States Supreme Court, the lower court decision stands. So really, all that happened is that the original district court, the trial court judge's opinion, is still in effect.
And the decision today was 3-3 because one of the justices recused herself. Neither side there had a majority. Does that matter? And what's going to happen next year?
That's exactly what matters, is that it creates a tie. And procedurally speaking, in the case of a tie, there is no effect at the Supreme Court. It's as if it was not even an at-bat. It didn't even happen. Nothing really occurred. And that's what's strange, is that the Iowa Supreme Court still put in plenty of opinions by the justices. It's just that those opinions are really kind of advisory only. The real opinion that matters is the original district court judge's opinion that concludes that, look, I can't even reevaluate the law here. I can't reevaluate this injunction because there's no way for me to do it. I don't have the power. There's nothing in the Iowa Rules of Civil Procedure or this court's inherent authority that gives me the power to reevaluate this years-old injunction. So now you have a strange thing. You have an injunction in Iowa preventing a law going into effect based on rights that no longer exist in Iowa. So as strange as that may sound, the fix, at least according to the court and practically speaking, is to go back to the Iowa legislature. This injunction cannot be attacked, even if it's based on a right that no longer exists in Iowa or nationwide. Very complicated procedurally.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.